Hello, friends. Welcome to the fifth episode of this channel on Hindu wisdom. This episode is about an introduction to the Sankhya Darshan. The Sankhya Darshan is a philosophy of Hinduism which reflects our ancient rishis' great vision and deep wisdom. This episode is in three parts. The first part is about the history and foundations of the Sankhya. The second part is about the 25 constituent elements of creation, and the third part is about the Purusha. Humanity has been driven by curiosity towards our existence from ages. Ancient sages had deep insight. In the modern day, too, organizations like the NASA and ISRO send out space telescopes to explore deep space. Science developed so much in ancient India because here the Gyanis and Rishis were placed superior to our kings. So, the people seeking knowledge would never worry about their own survival or their families. The Sankhya Darshan is agnostic. Hinduism allows different paths to be followed by different kind of people. It is not necessary to believe in a creator. Some may believe in a creator and worship him. Some may worship in a temple. Some may worship to Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu. Some may worship to Devi, etc. Some may not even believe in a creator. Atheists are also highly revered and their philosophies are recognized and respected. The Sankhya philosophy never talks of a creator. It neither propagates the concept nor denies it. We have four Ved, which are Rig Ved, Yajur Ved, Samaved, and Atharva Ved. There are six main philosophies: Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Mimamsa, and Vedanta. We are discussing Sankhya in this. The three main paths to liberation are Karma Marg, Bhakti Marg, and Gyan Marg. KapilMuni is believed to be the founder of the Sankhya Darshan. He is seen as an incarnation of Lord Vishnu and he is referenced by Lord Krishna himself in the BhagwadGeetha. Even Buddhism seems to have been influenced by Sankhya Darshan. Buddha grew up in a city Kapilvastu, which is believed to be named after KapilMuni. The Sankhya is respected by theistic as well as agnostic traditions. The key texts are: originally we had the Sankhya Pravachan Sutra, which is believed to have been lost over ages. The lineage goes from Kapil Muni to ShriKrishna, who penned down the Sankhya Karika. The core concept here is Sat Karyavad, which says if anything exists, there must have been a cause pre existing before it. Sat is not the same as the truth as we refer to truth. Rather, it refers something akin to real. Effect proves that there was a cause before it and nothing can come from nothing. Even science says the whole universe came from the Big Bang, which was a point of infinite density. It is not that it came from nothing, it says it came from a single point. When Sankhya talks of cause and effect, it calls cause as Karan and the effect as Karya. Karan is the cause which causes the Karya to happen. Thought always precedes action. If I have to write a book, I have to have a concept in my mind on which topic I will be writing it. What will be the storyline? So the cause must have full potential to produce the effect. If there is no effect produced, we cannot call the original as cause also. We have two types of cause here. One is the Nimitta Karan and the other is the Upadan Karan. When we talk of a pot, there are two things behind it. One is the potter, who is called as the Nimitta Karan, and the other is the material, the clay, that is called as the Upadan Karan. The Sankhya Darshan focuses on the Upadan Karan, that is the material cause. The question is, where did the clay appear from? The inference here is universe is the known effect. We must infer what is the cause behind this observed universe. The cause must have the attributes which are seen in the effect. So we start talking about Prakriti and Srishti. They are different even though many people think they are same. Prakriti is the primordial material nature. which is infinite, formless, and expressionless. The visible nature is Srishti, which is the manifested form. Srishti and Prakriti are different, though they share three gun of Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. The Satogun is named after the light and clarity seen in the universe. We see light from the stars, from the sun, etc. Rajogun indicates the motion energy which we see in the planets running around their orbits, etc. Tamogun refers to the darkness or inertia. As in Newton's law of motion, nothing wants to change on its own unless something external forces it to change. That is referred as the tamogun, the lazy gun in our nature. The Prakriti was in balance initially and it had no consciousness. It had the potential, but it cannot act or manifest on its own. Purush is the consciousness which triggers manifestation. The eternal question is, why are we talking of the masculine Purush, considering him superior over the feminine Prakriti? Why Purush? The word Purush, first of all, does not indicate masculine gender at all. Pur indicates a region or a field, like we have city names called as Nagpur, Jabalpur, etc. Usha means the light of the dawn, which illuminates. So Purush is the one who illuminates or makes aware. It has nothing to do with gender, either masculine or feminine. Similarly, is Prakriti feminine? No. Prakriti word itself is a sandhi of pra plus kriti. Pra means which came before, prior, and kriti means creation. So what existed before creation literally means Prakriti. It is different from Srishti. The word Srishti means creation. What happens when Purush and Prakriti interact with each other? They generate Srishti. So Sankhya has a dualism or a Dvaita. Prakriti and Purush are two components. So when the Srishti comes from the interaction of Prakriti and Purush, we can see it, feel it, observe it. We come to the second part of this episode now. In the first part, we discussed Sat Karyavat, which says effect comes from real cause only. Prakriti is the root cause of the universe, like the clay for the pot. And Purush is the conscious observer or enabler of the universe, like the potter for the pot. Prakriti has an affinity to realize its potential and to get manifested, whereas Purush seeks experience, like the potter wants to see the pot. Thus, when they come together, they interact and manifest universes in the form of Srishti. Please note that we have separate conscious experiences. If a dog is brought home by a human and the human looks after the dog starts seeing him as God. Whereas if the same happens for a cat sees itself as God. A horse becomes a human's friend. So all three are experiencing the same thing, but they are experiencing different experiences. Each incident around us gives us different experiences. For example, if two cars collide, both driver feels different things. The policeman looking at the case feels something else. The lawyer arguing the case feels something else. The doctor treating the patient feels something else. So each individual has separate experiences and different perspectives imply multiple Purush. Experience defines individuality. When Purush meets Prakriti, the Srishti manifests in 25 steps, constituents, whatever you would like to call it. The first, obviously, is the Purush and the Prakriti. Purush being the consciousness and Prakriti being the unmanifest primordial nature from which everything is going to arise. First thing to come is Mahat or Buddhi or intellect. This is the first thing to evolve. The second to come is Ahankar, which makes the Mahat feel I am different from everything and everybody else. I am so and so, he is so and so, you are so and so, this is so and so, etc. That is the Ahankar speaking. I am different from everything else. The third is the Manas or Man, which is the mind responsible for thoughts, perception, feelings, etc. So, when Purush and Prakriti combine, they give rise in the order to Mahat, then Ahankar, and then Manas. The Prakriti manifests five Mahabhut, or gross elements, which are Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, and Prithvi. These five Mahabhuts have their own properties or subtle elements or tanmatras, which are sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. The organisms who want to observe the universe feel it through five Gyanendriyas or sense organs. The eyes see the sight, the ears can hear sound, the nose smells, the skin can touch, and the tongue can taste. Then we have five karmendriyas or action organs, because if we have to survive to observe this universe, we have to support ourselves. So,
Hands, feet, mouth for eating and speech, anus, and genitals come into existence.
thus we have 25 elements. Purush and Prakriti coming together give rise to Mahat, Ahankar, and Mana. This creates the first five, then the five properties from the five gross elements, and five Gyanendriyas to feel those properties, five Karmendriyas to do action. Thus, we have total 25 elements, one being Prakriti, one being Purush, and 23 coming from these. Some say Kal or Samay is also an element, but it is not listed. Some say Purush and Prakriti are not part of these, so only 23 elements exist because they are not to be counted. In the beginning, Purush intertwines with Prakriti to manifest the Srishti. Purush forgets its true nature and identifies itself with Prakriti and its elements. This leads to three types of suffering: the Daivik, and Prakritik. Daihik has to do with the body, Daivik with the fate, and Prakritik with nature, like earthquakes. The path to liberation or Kaivalya or Moksha is separation of Purush and Prakriti. The Sankhya Yoga is discussed in the Purush Sukta. What is Purush Sukta? It is the 90th Sukta of the 10th Mandal of the Rig Veda. It describes cosmic consciousness or Purush. In Purush Sukta, observer effect has been discussed. Observation changes possible outcomes. It is known in science as the observer effect too. It is seen in quantum physics, psychology, sociology, etc. Electrons behave differently when observed versus not observed. In the double slit experiment, it is seen that electrons exist as waves till they are observed, but as soon as they are observed, they manifest as particles. In physics, we have the concept of gravastars and black holes, but we will not go into it right now because that is not the topic of this video. The link of Purush Sukta to Sankhya Darshan is Sankhya says universe exists only when observed, just like science today says different observations, different actions create different universes. Consciousness or Purush activates matter or Prakriti, and the root idea comes from the Purush Sukta. The first mantra of the Purush Sukta talks of Sahasra, which literally means thousand, but here it refers to infinite. Sahasra Sirsha, that is infinite heads. Sahasra Aksh, that is infinite eyes. Sahasra Pad, which is infinite feet. With respect to Purush and size, it is said that it is Dash Angalum bigger. So the universe extends so much, and beyond that extent of the universe, also the Purush is 10 fingers larger. 10 fingers is also the space between the navel and the heart, which is the place of birth and soul reflectively. The second mantra talks of Purush and time. It says that time is within the Purush. So Purush extends beyond time. It encompasses the past, present, and future. It can observe all that was, that is, and that will be. So cosmic awareness spans both time and space. The third mantra talks of limited visible world with respect to manifestation. It says only 25% of reality is manifested, 75% is subtle. The fourth mantra talks of mortality and eternity. It says the 25% gross body which is visible is impermanent, it will die, but 75% subtle body will stay beyond death too. There are many interpretations which can be gathered. The first is observation fuels evolution. So, single cell organisms evolve to observe more and more and more and more. More senses imply complex beings and vice versa. Observation creates advancement. Human observation is the peak of evolution of organisms as we know them. Today, humans are even going beyond their senses because we are sending telescopes which can see in wavelengths which we cannot see with our own eyes, too. From ocean life of single celled organisms, we have developed to cosmic explorers because the Purush wants to observe. The third interpretation is creation as manifestation. The universe is unmanifested in the Prakriti. Once Purush observes it, it gets converted to Srishti, like butter was always present in milk, but the potential has to become real. The conclusion is Purush Sukta is interwoven into the Sankhya Darshan. Consciousness enables creation. Without an observer, universe cannot exist. This brings us to the end of this episode on Sankhya Darshan. If you like this channel, please subscribe and share with your friends. Till we meet again in the next episode, Jai Shri Sitaram, Jai Shri Radha Krishna, Namaskar.